Hey, there we go. What's going on, New Money? Hope you guys are doing well. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Today we got something a little bit different for you. It's kind of similar to last week, but with some new people involved. We got opTrade AI, and we also have StarDawgs NFTs in the building today. So we're going to be going over their different tech, be hearing straight from some of the founders, people from the team, and we're also going to be doing some product demos for you guys today. So if you guys have any questions, any comments about any of the material you guys see, feel free to reach out to the different communities, jump in the Discord, jump in the Telegrams. Today's just going to be, like I said, a pretty generic overview of what these companies are doing, and then we're going to show you guys a little bit more in depth of the product demo, and then I'll just throw some sort of softball questions over at the team and see if we can get some general background information for you guys. And then if you're interested in them, like I said, jump in the communities. Always feel free to learn more. It's the best way that you're going to get a better understanding of these companies before you actually go ahead and decide to invest or take advantage of whatever it is that they're building. In the meantime, if you guys appreciate us for being here, we are live right now on X and on YouTube. Once we get this format down, we figure out if we want to stick to this before we really start hammering things out like ads and pushing this really hard in the future. If you guys like this format and want us to stick with it, make sure you guys leave us some comments, throw a like if you're on YouTube, subscribe. If you're on X, then you guys already know what to do. Like, comment, retweet, repost, bookmark, all that good stuff. Really does go a long way. Make sure you guys are also following each of these different companies on X as well, and all their different social media for that matter. We'll have the different founders hopefully read over their different social media in a minute here. And let's see. Oh, last but certainly not least, we have an X space directly after this. So if you want to trauma bond about the market, if you want to just come up and talk to us, say what's up, say what's going on your mind, how you're feeling. If you want to shill anything, feel free to jump up. That's where we're sort of going to move things to. The what it used to be the shillathon is just now going to be more of a typical shill and chill and a community space. If you guys want to come hang out there, that's going to be directly whenever this live stream ends. We're just going to fire it up over there and start chatting. Without further ado, though, oh my gosh, I was sharing my screen that whole time. My bad. Without further ado, though, I'm going to throw things over very quickly to Wally to see if he has any thoughts for us. He's holding it down behind the New Money Crypto account. Hopefully it doesn't echo too bad for him when he does speak. But Wally, anything you got for us before we kick this off?
Nope, all good on my end, brother. All good on my end. I'm actually trying to wrangle in a lot of tech stuff at the moment, so take it away.
I appreciate you, Wally, for reining in that tech stuff. If you guys like the format and the direction that we're heading, make sure you guys let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you guys want some giveaways in the future, like we used to do a whole bunch of giveaways, make sure you guys max engage with the space. The more engagement we get and we actually see that people are liking this new format, it will actually make it worth it for us to go ahead and run those giveaways. Now, okay, let's go ahead and kick things off. We have a very powerful platform up first here for you guys. It's integrating AI with a lot of trading indicators or some classic trading tools that you guys already might be familiar with. If you're not a trader, maybe this isn't a thing for you. They also have some different ways of automating trades so that you can take advantage of what other people are doing or what other people have found successful, and some different AI agents, and then maybe leveraging what they've already done and applying it to your platform. So I'm going to shut up before I say anything wrong. I'm going to throw it over to Al, who is, I believe, one of the core founders of the team, but I'm going to let him explain his role, how he got here, and then a little bit more about opTrade AI. Al, the floor is yours. What you got for us?
Hey guys, thank you, Joe. Thanks for the introduction. Yeah, I'm the founder of opTrade AI. I've been developing software for more than 10 years now on my own company. And back in 2021, 2022, I got addicted to trading, especially to trading crypto. So I discovered crypto before, but only discovered Uniswap late December 2022, 2020, sorry, and then started actively trading in 2021. And then at some point, I saw the opportunity. It was like really amazing. I was trading when I was buying tokens and just holding, and it went up. And at some point, I discovered the trading launches basically. So
Really quickly, Al, before you, sorry to cut you off, before you jump into the train launches, are you able to share your screen with maybe
of
just like the
course,
background of the website? Okay, awesome. Or
of
your
course.
camera or whatever you want. Awesome. Just something for the viewers. Appreciate you. Sorry, go ahead.
Here we go. Do you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. We got you
Okay.
nice and clear.
Amazing. So yeah, so back in 2021, when I started trading, I discovered I was watching the charts, and then I was like, wow, imagine if I was able to buy the token when it just launched, not at 100K, not at maybe 5 million, but when it launched and just held it. It would be amazing, you know. So I started doing it. It was sometimes I was lucky, sometimes I wasn't, but I was always frustrated by Uniswap and by the combination of MetaMask and Uniswap. When I saw a new token, even back in the time, you had the live launches, so people were expecting the launch, and it was really difficult for me to just enter the trade because of many factors like slippage. It went so fast that slippage wouldn't let you in. And then at some point, I got in a trade, and it was an amazing feeling because I got with less than $500, and I saw it multiplying by the minute. So it all started like this. When I saw this, I was like trying to replicate this after that, but it was more and more difficult. That's when I started like building tools. My first tool was a sniping tool. It was before Banana or Maestro. It was for me, and then I started sharing it. And after sharing it, people were more and more interested by this kind of trading, you know. So then it evolved into you know, we had this amazing tool that let us trade, but we didn't have how to find the right tokens to trade. So basically, we started developing an algorithm to detect tokens, you know. And then after that, it evolved into opTrade, where we don't focus only on sniping or buying launches, but also sniping launches and auto trading tokens. I'm sharing the screen right now. You can see the website. It explains what we do in general, the different steps of finding, scanning, and trading, different features, how the system works, and how different access tiers we have developed. So I know last time Aki demonstrated the platform, which is the terminal, but I'll demonstrate today. I'll demo the ecosystem from the Telegram perspective. A lot of the traders still trade on Telegram. It's an amazing place to start. And let me just show you guys. Okay, so this is basically the different channels of the ecosystem. Once someone holds, depending on their tier, they're gonna be invited to different channels. Um, just to make just to explain how this works. Basically, if you see this image I'm gonna pull right now, it's loading. Do you see this?
Yeah, we see that.
Okay. So basically, what happens is when a token is, and we started on ETH. Right now, we're on ETH, on BSC, and on Base. Basically, when a token is launched, it's just a random token. The system sees it. The system constantly scans the blockchain to see every token that's being launched or being active. We don't scan only new pairs, but we scan the whole blockchain to make sure we don't miss an opportunity for example, an old token that suddenly gains traction. Once it enters the system, it enters at a high risk level. High risk meaning it's high risk of being maybe even if we do scan for rugs, we do scan the different wallets, we scan many things, but it's still risky because you can just jump on it and something can dump very fast because it was pushed, for example, by a group or something. So we have different scoring mechanisms that will make sure that this token is going to travel from high risk to moderate risk to low risk. When it displays as a signal first, and then once the signal becomes moderate risk, it becomes available to the agents, to the auto trading agents. So auto trading agents are going to scan everything in the pool, and depending on your settings, are going to enter and exit the token and report to you and to the PNL group when it does when it exits. So let's go back to the bot. So we have a bot called Optics. It's available from the web page here. You can click on trading bot up. I don't know if you can click on deploy agents, and then it's gonna directly open the trading bot. Okay, so the trading bot is the entry point of our ecosystem. Of course, even if you're not holding, you can just say hey to the bot. The bot understands. Right now, I was deploying something, but if I say, for example, menu, and then sub, what's trending. It's gonna pull me what's trending. I can ask it about a token. Like right now, it's pulled me many tokens, so I can ask it give me a good trade, and it's gonna try to give me a good trade. It suggested this token called dog shit. So you can see in the moderate risk, this token just made 2x, by the way. So so basically the idea is you can decide to auto snipe the signals once they enter those different stages: high risk, moderate risk, or low risk. You can see them here. You can see those are the moderate risk signals. Those are the high risk signals, and you can see when a token is still in high risk, if it does a multiplier, it's gonna display it here, high risk. It did 3x in 8 minutes prior to being available inside the moderate risk. Once it went to moderate risk, it did another 2x. So if we click on this last signal, for example, it's gonna say here's the signal, here's the hype score. So basically, this is very important. The hype score is gonna filter out many tokens that are, let's say, I'm a whale. I'm gonna use like 3 wallets. I'm gonna push a lot of volume on a token. The algorithm is going to ignore it because it's not going to be really hyped, and the hype score is going to calculate basically many things to come up with this score that's not going to be easy to manipulate, let's say. So here you see, for example, hype score 199, the market cap at which it was called, the liquidity available in the token, the volume, the change, and the number of X's since high risk call. So it did 4x before being called inside moderate risk. You can see other details on every token. When they hit a multiplier, the multipliers are broadcast. So for example, last banger on Ethereum did I think 19 or 18 or 19x. Let me find it here. It was called Walljack. It did 19x in 6 days and 12 hours. So basically, those are the different stages. Like you can see, I have a tab because there are many channels. and depending on your willingness to risk and you can basically go into the menu. Either you click here or just type menu. Sorry, I'm not on the right channel. Inside the bot, you can click on menu here, and you can see here the selected chain, active chain for trading. For example, I can be trading on ETH. I can bridge easily between chains, and I can control. I have many controls. I have the wallet controls to create a wallet, to verify my holdings, to re-verify if I change wallet. I can view my wallet. I can view the perks if I have which tier I have. It's checking whether I'm already in a channel or not, to send me again the invite back to the menu. We have the config. So in the config we have the trading settings. Here there are a lot of settings, but basically you can choose to auto snipe, for example, only moderate risk. So you can go here, set your risk to moderate, and then as soon as you set your risk to moderate, you can basically select how much you want to buy per entry. If you want a gas boost, basically you up your gas a little bit to go faster. You can select your slippage. Basically, it's not limited to 50%. You can have a big slippage. It's all MEV protected, so you don't care even if you have 90% slippage. 90% slippage, you don't care about being MEV'd. I have 90% slippage because I want to make sure it enters the token when I'm happy with the score. For example, if I'm on ETH, I can decide that my hype score is 25. Don't ape into anything that's less than 25. I can select every filter like min-max market cap, minimum volume, min-max change settings. If I put 0, it means just snipe everything. The score being the factor that's I'm looking for. Then of course you have the auto trading options, which are something else. I'm gonna go into them, and don't hesitate to stop me if I'm not explaining something well. So basically, when you do that, as soon as a signal pops, if it fits within your filters, it's gonna be auto sniped. And then, of course, you set your TP here, TP auto sell percent, meaning let's say you want to sell 100% or you want to sell just, for example, 80% and keep a moon bag. You can set here multiplier at which you want to sell, for example, 1.6, 2x, 3x, 5x, anything. You can set if you want a stop loss or not. Here I just removed stop loss, but I can put it back, and then I can decide, you're gonna stop at, and when I click, by the way, it's asking me here. I just know what's asking me. That's why I'm skipping it. So here I can put 30%, stop loss percentage update to 30%, and here you can see it's updated already to 30%. So this is like the auto sniping thing. Of course, once you access the different levels, we don't suggest to start by auto sniping. We have a trading academy to show you how to manually trade. We have a AI trending channel that's gonna show you in real time, every 10 seconds it's updated what's trending. It's also digesting the market to explain what's happening. Here, key insights, for example, dog shit with 7,000% and 24 volume of $8 million. Token highlights, what's the market trends, the trending intel, etc., etc. And all this is also displayed in the terminal web. Even if you're not holding, you can see those details in the terminal. Once a token is qualified to the moderate risk, it becomes auto-tradable after a while, like because of depending on your risk. If you set moderate risk, for example, it's gonna auto-trade depending on the chains you select. So again, here, if we go back to the bot, You can see I'm deciding to auto snipe only on base on BSC. I can say no, I want to auto snipe on Ethereum too, and back to the settings. I can auto trade and set the same. I can say, you know what, auto trade. In auto trade, I want to auto trade on BSC, Base, and Ethereum. So here we have the main auto trader, which is basically available in the menu. You can see automation and then auto trade, and then I can stop auto trading, start auto trading. I can start or stop the sniper. I can check my trade or my auto trade right now. What's my PNL basically. I can exit my positions, check my PNL. We have different strategies, etc. I can check my performance, and back into like if I type my trade. It should, sorry, I'm just checking.
And so how much does it cost for people to get access to this, what we're looking at on Telegram? Is this part of like the basic package, or is this one of the more advanced packages, or can anybody jump in here? How's that work?
Well, for auto trading, we made it free to test, to be just testing. For example, here, if I type settings, you can see there's a mainnet button. This button wouldn't be available to non-holders. So, for example, if you're not on mainnet, you can still access the bot and try to perfect your auto trading. Like, for example, say, you know what, I'm gonna trade anything that has a volume on 24-hour of at least 50K, and that's dumping on the 5 minutes, you know. And then if you want to auto trade on mainnet, you have to basically you have to be holding the tokens. So depending on your holdings, you have access to more channels, more auto sniping channels, different risk, but also to more agents. For example, the entry tier is going to have one auto trading agent, but then the elite tier is going to have up to 10 auto trading agents. So here, for example, I can type crew. I can see, okay, I have 3 auto trading agents. And as soon as I click on play, it's going to start my auto trading agent. I can check my auto trading agent and see what's the strategy for this auto trading agent. If I have, for example, 3 auto trading agents, I can have 3 different strategies depending on the chain. For example, we noticed that on BSC the volume is higher, so I can expect higher volume before entering. While on ETH the volume is generally lower, so I don't have to wait for a big volume before entering. If I view my here, you can see active chains. This is on BSC, ETH, and Base. This one I just deployed is only on ETH, and then to deploy, basically what you are deploying is your settings. So if I put the settings here, and I say, okay, you know, I'm gonna deploy a new auto trading agent. And I can set, for example, a maximum on the 5 minutes. I want it to be minus 10%, meaning maybe it's dumping. But on the 24-hour, I want it to be plus 100% at least, or at least plus 100%. Here you can see, because I started my auto trading agent, it just entered the trade. So I think it's entered on BSC, but I didn't have enough funds on BSC. So here you can see it's got into this meme coin we were speaking about. It tells you the score, etc. So if I check, because it's like a simulation right now, I can still check my crew, and I'm gonna see that this one is minus 2% right now. I can click on sell position, as soon as I sell my position, it's going to exit it. If I try put my trade, I can see that my main auto trader, which is basically following your settings, and you can change dynamically. In contrary to agents, you can stop them, you can load them, change and deploy a new agent. But for the main auto trader, I can change it dynamically. So for example, this one, I can click on exit my position. And as soon as I'm gonna exit my position, it's gonna display my PNL. It's gonna send my PNL to this channel where, for example, someone you see just smart TP'd. I can explain the details. We have a lot of features. We've been developing non-stop for more than a year after the token was launched. But we were developing way before the token. So here, someone just made, for example, with their agent, 265% on this token we saw. And you can click on the chart. You can click to see the token on BS scan, and then of course, if I go back here now, if I type again my trade, because it's not it's disabled, I'm gonna enable it again. It tells me, okay, auto trading activated, and then it shows me my strategy. If I type again my trade, it's going to tell me that I'm not in a trade right now, but it's going to tell me what are the top movers. I can see the top movers and just wait for the trade to enter, basically. In the settings, you can decide a lot of details regarding the trade. For example, you can decide that here are the auto trading options. You can decide that you don't want to, because ETH has some gas periods where it's very expensive. I can decide, you know what, don't go into a trade if the gas is higher than 20 GWE, and don't sell if the gas is higher than this. I can decide to only buy the ones that have liquidity burned, only zero tax tokens. I can decide my maximum hold time. For example, even if the trade is doing well or not doing well, don't hold for more than 5 hours, for example. And here you can see change max hold time 5 hours. Cooldown is the time between trades. I can decide to, for example, I'm sleeping and the auto trader is not doing well. I can decide, you know what, just stop after 3 consecutive losses. And then we have smart TP and smart stop. Those are some new features and AI pick. So smart TP is basically, sometimes, let's say I decide that I'm gonna TP at 1.6, like or 2x, okay? But then I'm at 1.5x, 50% up, and suddenly the volume drops, and it starts or at 70%. I'm almost there, but the volume suddenly drops. And the AI is going to detect that there are more and more chances that you're going to lose what you made. So it's going to just exit if you decide smart TP. Same with smart stop. It's not going to wait for you to touch the max hold time or max stop. AI pick is something, because a lot of people had trouble or hard time setting all the details and all the strategy. So let's say you don't set anything, you just set AI pick, and it's gonna use AI to pick the token that's more likely to fit within your multiplier and stop loss. You can still define the settings, but you don't have to. Basically, if you don't define anything, it's gonna still pick the tokens. Like you can see, I didn't define a lot. I just defined here max change 100% and max minimum volume 50K, and it's still gonna pick the right token for me. Of course, this is something it's adaptive to the market. So basically, when we delivered it with AI reasoning, because you can see here when it entered the trade, and it tells me why it entered the trade. This one, the dog sheet shows extreme volume, acceleration, blah, blah, and the 24 volume and a massive 24 price surge, indicating the market can still move, and it's picking my PNL goals to say, okay, this fits within what you're looking for, you know? So this is basically the main idea. Of course, when you auto trade, you can decide that you can auto trade only moderate risk, but you can also decide to auto trade higher risk. It's not gonna auto snipe. It's not gonna buy as soon as the signal pops. It's gonna wait for it to be stable enough, but it's gonna still auto trade it while it's in a higher risk situation. For low risk signals, those signals almost never rug. Meaning the idea is we wait for the chart to dump, and then when it starts picking up again, that's when low risk signals have more chances to be sent. So here you can see, for example, this signal was sent. If we check Patriot, it was sent. The date here on 2nd February, but for the moderate signal, so or maybe high risk signal here. Oh,
And just so I understand this right, for the high risk signals, and I see a lot of them show like the 19x or the 2x or the 5x, etc. So it's actually, it will show you those signals or give you those calls before it hits the 19x and the 2x, right? And then only after it does those, it's just displaying the recent wins, correct?
Of course, correct. So basically the idea is when a signal pops in here, as soon as it pops, it's already auto sniped if it fits within your settings. So here, for example, 115 hype score, 131k volume, this k liquid market cap, volume, etc. So if it fits within my settings, it's gonna be instantly auto sniped. Because here in my settings, I set, for example, my settings here, and I set my settings to risk to high risk. So as soon as I set to high risk, it's gonna filter out every token from the ones that are already. So for example, I don't wanna jump into a token that has a bigger market cap than, for example, 200k. So it sets my maximum to 200k. So if the signal is less than 200k, if it has a score of more than 100, it's gonna tell me, okay, it's gonna basically auto snipe it as soon as it displays here, you know. And it's gonna ignore it if you are on moderate risk. Then as soon as it qualifies to moderate risk, it's gonna auto snipe it again if you are on moderate risk. So for example, this one, it did 4x before being qualified to moderate risk. Once it was qualified to moderate risk, we keep following the signals, and it did 2x after being qualified. If I click on the chart, I can see it. And then of course we have some tools to help you. I'm gonna type HR MR stats. So if I click on MR day stats, I'm gonna say, okay, I want to see what are the stats to help me basically help me decide what are my filters. So for example, if I click on MR2X stats, MR2X day week stats, for example, to check all the stats for the tokens that did at least in 2x inside moderate risk. So MR2 week stats. So here it tells me the ones that did 2x had an average score of 95. They had an average liquidity of 81. If I click on moderate, if I can go here and say, no, I want the monthly stats now. Month stats. And then again, it tells me, okay, this is the average. You can see here, the average liquidity is a bit higher for the ones that did 2x on a monthly stats. And the number of tokens that achieved 2x at least are 31. So basically, 31 tokens on average have had this score. On average, they had this liquidity and they displayed this volume. So it helps you decide your settings. Basically, you can say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna set my score to maybe 190. So it's gonna filter out a lot of tokens, you know. So the idea is, of course, this is for automations, but I can definitely buy manually, you know. So I can follow the signals manually. For example, I can see here, for example, the one that did 19x. Wojak, where is it? Yeah, this one. I can buy 0.02, and it's gonna confirm. If it's not a command, if it's a command, I can just buy, and then sorry, it's gonna buy automatically now the average the entry setting I set already, so 0.01, and it's executing the trade. It's trying it's trying to find the token in base. I'm gonna try again. I was set on base, so as soon as I buy 0.01, it sends me the transaction pending on Ethereum, and then it buys it for me. I can manually trade it, or automatically trade it, basically without choosing it, you know. I can also decide to opTrade, what we call opTrade, meaning I want to trade it according to my PNL and stop loss. So basically this one, it's just about it. I can see it's tracking my PNL here. The current value is basically almost 0.01, but minus the Uniswap fee, which is 0.003%. 0.3%, sorry. We have a low fee also of 0.05, which is not included in your buy. It's on top of your buy, but it's one of the smallest fees in the market, both for manually trading and for auto trading. I can decide to generate my PNL card. For example, here how much it did, and I can sell it. So this is the manual trade options, you know, basically to manually trade, not only auto trade. I can live quote it. Here I can click on, here it sold it. So I can, for example, quote, and then I enter the token. Not sure. I didn't test this feature since a while, so maybe it's not working as expected. But the idea is to be able to refresh faster and see the transactions faster. Right now it's 0 because it just sold, and I can check the transaction, etc. So this is the idea of manual trading. I don't know if it was clear enough. But I'm open to any questions if you have questions.
Yeah, I mean, I have a couple written down here, but also I just want to highlight just how valuable this tool is itself that you have. I mean, to be able to just like scan tokens like this and get high risk, moderate risk signals, low risk signals, I think is an incredible thing. People would pay thousands of dollars for a different signal like that. So for you guys to have it available for under a few $100, is pretty insane. And again, users, I encourage you to check out the website. All you have to do is pick one of their different packages, and the maxed out package, I believe it's 3,500 opTrade tokens. It's about a little bit under $500 right now in Ethereum, and that's going to get you access to all of these different things. And before I do kind of throw any questions potentially at you, I was wondering if actually, Al, you could go through and just run through some of the parallels on your guys' website, because I know some people love the Telegram bots, and this is all that they'll use to trade. But then I know other people like to have a little bit more of the standard API and actually take control in a little bit different way, with like a desktop version. So yeah, if you could go over that too.
Of course. So here you have you can click on Open Terminal. It's going to send you to terminal.optrade.ai. And when I'm sharing my screen, it's not as fast for some reason, maybe my memory. It's gonna load at first the opening screen. It's gonna initialize the terminal, and then open the screen we saw for everything that's trending first. It's coming. It's very slow and then once you click on login, it's going to send you directly to Telegram. So I can click on connect through Telegram. So you don't have to input any password, anything. You just, boom, it sends you to open the terminal. So now we open the terminal with a token, with a authentication token.
Can you use the terminal without Telegram if you don't have a Telegram?
Well, we only log in through Telegram. So right now you can't use the terminal without Telegram, but we will add some other authentication ways maybe in the future to authenticate through Google or through something else. Right now you have to go through Telegram because you verify your wallet in Telegram, So it's loading because it's like a single page application, so it loads the data and then start refreshing it. So again, it's gonna be way faster if you guys try it without basically when I'm sharing my screen, it's really slower. I don't know, I tried many times, and each time I'm sharing my screen, it's very slow. So
yeah, using that computer's RAM, I think you're right about that. It's just kind of how it goes with these streams. But I guess I'm curious too, are you able to leverage trade at all with the different bots? Like, can you on Telegram or through this API?
We didn't deploy anything regarding leverage trading yet. We're testing some features regarding leverage trading, and we're testing with a platform called Lighter and with Hyperliquid, basically. So the idea is it's something. The idea was to focus on Ethereum at first, and then to be on other blockchains, and then to go into maybe leverage trading later. Right now, we don't have any features regarding leverage trading, but we do have in the Trading Academy, we do have a professional trader that's basically, and his job is basically to teach leverage trading and how to leverage trade by reading the charts, and we're trying to automate this in opTrade. It's not available yet because it's a big challenge to auto trade on leverage, and especially when let's say if you want it to be scalable, if you want it to be scalable, it's another challenge, because the idea with the signals was to have something that's scalable, and auto trading, to have something that's scalable, but we're not able to have the same computing yet for auto trading on auto leveraging or auto trading on leverage. There are many details For example, when a signal is sent, it's going to depend on the leverage you set, on the willingness to risk, how much percentage before you're gonna exit the trade or take your profit, etc. So we're not there yet, but it's in the plans. Yeah.
That totally makes sense. With more leverage just comes more risk, and you guys want to get a solid footing before you go ahead and grow and take on more challenges. So totally get that. And I know things are a little bit slow here with, you know, all that's going on in the background for the computer. But if you could click through the site, I guess I'm curious, you know, what are the different parts that we have here? And so, could you the AI chat, is that the same thing that we saw on the Telegram?
Yeah, exactly. So the AI chat, the idea is super slow. But the AI chat is the same thing as I can ask it what's trending, and then it's gonna analyze the market and tell me what's trending. I can ask about a token. I can ask about basically a good trade, etc. You have the dashboard here. Is the same. Why it's hot? It tells me why it's hot. The dashboard should be loading really faster. I'm sorry guys. When I'm sharing, it's like maybe I have too many things open, but it should be should be very fast. And right now it's not. So you have the dashboard that shows many statistics. You have the signals that show different signals we saw in moderate risk. For example, here you're gonna see the last signals for every chain. In the trade analyze, you can analyze a token. Basically, I don't let it even load before clicking again, but you can analyze a token and analyze the. For example, if we go back here, again, I can see here that this token just did 2x. I can click on it, and it's super slow. This is the worst demo ever.
No, you're fine. It was quick when I was clicking around earlier too. So
yeah. So here it's gonna pull the overview of the token, price change, market cap, etc. We have an AI analysis also that starts the analysis and real-time analysis. You have the trade tab, which is manually trading, basically like we saw manual trading on the other side. You have the AI chat to be able to discuss with the blockchain, be able to pull data about a token. And then you have the auto snipe. So basically what we saw regarding the settings, it's the same here. And it's the same. Let's say if I stop auto sniping here, it's gonna stop it, of course, on Telegram. But here I can decide to edit my settings, and as soon as I edit my settings, I can enable or disable auto sell. I can decide which market cap I want to enter, exit. You remember we set max market cap to 200K. It's in here. If I click on stop, it's gonna stop my auto sniper. It's disengaging it. And again, you see how it seems slow, but if you click, technically it's disengaging it instantly. You know. Same here with auto trading. We saw the agents. So basically, it's gonna load my agents. It's gonna show me my strategies, and show me the different agents and the leaderboard. Here it's loading the agents. So here I can see that I have 3 agents. I deployed this prod one earlier. If I click on view, and tells me it has AI pick on, it has smart TP on. I can click on here and see it's a new agent, so it don't have any recent trades yet. I believe this one has, which one entered? Let's check which one is in a trade right now. Just type crew.
So this is a different agent that different people could come in and use, essentially. Like I could just like ask to use this agent to trade for me.
Right now, those agents are my agents.
Okay, so you customize these.
Yeah, exactly. What we have is something called the leaderboard. And the idea is to be able to check the best agents that are available. And we're working on a renting option. So basically, one of the things we imagined is, let's say you have an agent that's performing really well. You can decide to rent it, and then the guy that has the agent is going to be paid, you know. So basically, you rent it, you pay with ETH or with opTrade tokens, and once you rent it, the ecosystem benefits, the user that has the agent benefits. So that's why it's valuable right now. Of course, the general DeFi volume is not what we saw back in the time. But if you check on even on you go on here on the community, I'm gonna check photos, and if I go, if you see here how many PNLs have been shared, and it's basically we had a lot of amazing returns for the users. You can see here everyone that's if I click here, you can see like the different PNLs that have been shared. Sometimes by the users, etc. So yeah, the idea was to value the fact that you're holding. If you have the highest tier, you can set your agents to be rentable, and once this option is going to be active, someone is going to be able to rent, and you're going to have a revenue share, direct revenue to the user. And we didn't deploy this feature yet, but that's basically what we're planning.
That is awesome. I did not know that. This is definitely a gold nugget that I took out from this episode so far. I've been, hearing about you guys for a long time, but the fact that you in the future will be able to rent out your AI agents that are successful, definitely provides another incentive for people to be using this platform and to be, fine tuning everything to be as efficient as possible. So that's incredibly efficient, and kind of leads me into what I was going to ask you next as we get into sort of the last couple of minutes of the interview here is what's coming up next, and when can we expect to see those features like the rent to bot, etc.?
So we're constantly delivering and incrementally making the system better. I don't have a fixed date for this feature of renting, but it's something that we had planned before the market kind of went down. One of the most important things is for the system to be valuable and to bring value. So we're trying to time it with the market also to bring something that's gonna be worth it, basically. But it's not the most complex feature. Because the idea of renting is be able to copy your settings without you be able to see the settings, basically. So it's not something like crazy to develop. It's almost finished, but it's something that we want to see the market pick up before we make this available. It's one of the most important things is to see at least the agents be able to consistently print. So right now you can see that I constantly first fix the bugs that are found, because we developed so many things. Right now during this demo you saw that the features, but I didn't if you ask the bot what are your commands, it's going to explain everything that it does technically, or am I on the right? Yeah, you see it's so basically the idea is to be able to provide this renting once we see PNLs consistently doing good. You can see here the PNLs, for example, and I'm not very satisfied with the P&Ls right now because of the market. Every pump is going to be basically sold very fast. We still see some good P&Ls, but we're not really like satisfied with this. So I don't have a like fixed date for this, but it could be like in the next coming weeks or maybe coming months. Here it's just answered. So here's a quick sheet of what I can do for you, and then it explains everything. So the idea for regarding the renting is something we're gonna introduce, like depending on the market. If the market doesn't pick up, then we have to figure out a way to only let the best agent being rented, or something like that, you know. This is basically where we are.
Awesome, Al. I appreciate you. I only got two more things I want to throw at you. If you wouldn't mind going back to the different pricing sheets for people becoming a member, and just
Yeah.
really quickly, just if you wouldn't mind running through them, just so that now people have seen sort of all the things you offer and they can maybe relate a little bit more to what everything meant that they were seeing before.
Of course. So if you go in membership here in optrade.ai, you're gonna see the different tiers. Those were set very early in the project, and when everything on chain was peaking, it was very expensive compared to now. You can see like 3,000 tokens. It was 5,000 tokens actually, and we dropped it down to 3,000 tokens because we don't want too much concentration, you know. And so the idea is with the elite tier, you have access to everything, but you have up to 10 parallel auto trading agents. You have a faster trading bot, and you have access to every channel we saw. We didn't see all the channels. We have other channels that for example, degen signals are very early signals. We have dump pump signals. We have the trading academy that's available to everyone. So the free tier, even with the free tier, you can still chat with the bot, you can scan, you can manually trade, and you can simulate auto trading. And then with rookie, you can have the access to the trading academy, to the trending channel, to top wallet signals, which are basically when a top wallet enters a trade, it tells you, etc. And then you can have up to you can have one auto trader, auto trading agent, sorry. And then the more you go up, the more you have auto trading agents, and the more features you have to access to.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that just one more time. Now that everybody has a little bit more perspective on all the different things you guys offer. And the last thing I wanted to ask you, Al, your professional and personal opinion, in a couple of years, will it only be AIs trading? Are there even going to be people trading anymore? Is it only going to be our agents that are trading for us? What are your thoughts?
Well, I believe in a hybrid approach, meaning AI can do a lot because, you know, first of all, I imagine AI trading against AI. So basically, you're gonna have faster ones and slower ones and smarter AIs trading against, but the human instinct is something very important. So I believe in this hybrid approach where because at the end of the day, the perfect AI agent, you don't set anything, you just send it and it sends you back more it. But if everyone then does the same, it's gonna be very competitive, and then it's gonna be depending on the people behind the AI that's commanding the AI, you know. So I believe in a hybrid future where you have of course AI that's helping you a lot, but you still have the human factor. that's gonna basically decide some details. We don't know yet at which extent. For example, it could be like when to TP. It could be like your overall strategy, and that's basically what we're trying to do here. We're trying to provide you with tools that let you automate, but at the same time, guide the AI to where you want it to go. Because even with the best AI, you can have a better AI that's gonna basically trade better than you, just because the guy is involved in more processing power, or involved in better models, or something like that. So ultimately, maybe you're gonna have this AI that's just receives ETH and just sends you ETH, but it's not going to be like I'm going to send you 1 ETH and send me 100 ETH in 2 days. So the market is going to be more and more competitive. You're going to have we see it with leverage trading. Strategies that were working in the past are not working anymore, because the market is constantly adapting to what's existing. So like, for example, here it's AI that decided to do everything, but I can decide to still sell my position at 5%, and I can be happy with it. AI cannot guess the future, and trading is about volume, about market, about those indicators. But you can't guess the future. You can have suddenly the top holder that decides to dump, and this is why I believe in a hybrid future, where you have AI that enhances your trading, that makes you like sleep, and you can sleep, and you're not gonna miss the pump, but at the same time, what type of tokens you want to get in, what's your strategy. I see one of the, for example, and just to close, I see one of the highest PNLs, because we're studying how to integrate Solana too, and we saw that one of the highest people on Solana, like highest return on Solana is trading between like tokens. He's buying tokens at 5K, he's selling 10K. So if every AI is trying to do the same, it's not gonna work, because it's just gonna be a matter of who's faster. And then even if AI is smart enough, it's gonna still fail. So I don't think we can of course guess exactly what's gonna happen, but I believe that that AI is gonna be a big part of this trading in the future. It can be calling you to help, like, let's say AI calls you and you decide together, or you decide the strategy, or it suggests the strategy, etc., etc.
There is so much potential in everything that you guys are building, and there's so many different ways that we can integrate AI into our toolbox. And Lord knows we all need more tools in our toolbox to try and figure out what the heck is going on in the market. So Al, I appreciate everything you guys are doing. Again, this is a real competitive advantage. It's what we're trying to do so much in the space. The reason people are watching this video, the reason people are hopping in X Spaces, et cetera, is they're trying to get a competitive advantage in this space. And if you're not able to get into the right communities initially, or always or getting the cabal or whatever it is, then having different tools like this that help sort of point you in the right direction and give you as much information as possible to make the best decisions moving forward is going to be your best bet to make some money in the market. So Al, I really appreciate you jumping up here. I do want to throw it back to you one more time. Any closing remarks, any final words before we move on to StarDawgs here and what they've been working on?
No, thank you, Joe. I think we covered the most things that are available. We have a lot of features like smart orders, sequences, but we can't go into details. For example, here you can see there is something we call Spellbook, and you can click on it and see the details. But the idea is you can manually automate. Like, for example, you can decide to DCA on a token and have different buy points, different sell points, etc., etc. So no, thank you very much for your time. Sorry for the demo, it wasn't perfect, but I think we covered everything. And amazing thing you guys are doing, and I hope we can speak about it again very soon.
Absolutely, Al. Looking forward to having you back on the space. You're right. We didn't even get into Spellbook. That was one of the things that I had in my notes. There's a couple other things too, but we'll just have to have you back on a future show, man. So I appreciate
Thank
you for
you.
jumping up here. If you guys have any other questions, comments, thoughts, you want to learn more about opTrade AI, make sure you guys are jumping into Telegram, getting to know them, connecting with the community, asking the different questions. That's going to be your best bet to get ahead in this space. And just make sure that you're in the right place at the right time and making the best informed decisions. So I'll love everything you guys are doing. We are running a little bit up on time here, and we do have to take things over. Coming up next, we have StarDawgs and a little bit about Income Island, as well as, they're involved in Darcy Donovan. They have some movies that they're working on too. But first, just a friendly reminder, if you guys are watching this, you guys appreciate this new format that we're trying out. This is only our second week with doing these interviews. I think we'll kind of keep up with this. We'll have maybe 1 to 2 really high quality companies coming in. We're going to just have them do an overview, some product demos, and then right after this, and then we have Frankie J doing some some macro analysis for us, just talking about what's going on in the world in general. And then as soon as that's done, we're going to jump on over to X, and then we're going to start just chatting it up. Or I think this space is going to be about, we're just trauma bonding because the market's down, but it's really just about connecting, getting to know each other. If you guys want to jump up on the X space, you guys want to chill there or just talk about yourselves, anything like that, feel free to. But for now, if you guys wouldn't mind, if you're over on YouTube watching this, thank you first and foremost. If you wouldn't mind throwing a like, subscribe, drop some comments, all that good stuff really does go a long way to helping us out. And then if you're over on X, same thing. We're streaming live on the New Money Media as well as my personal account. That's Joe and Chain, as well as New Money Media. We have some updated logos, some different things going on. We're going to keep really growing and pushing this in the future. So if there's any companies you guys really want to see us interview or do a product demo in the future, make sure you guys let us know. Just shoot us a DM. But for now, make sure you turn up your volume, turn on your screens, throwing some likes, comments, retweets, reposts, quote posts, bookmarks, all that good stuff on this X space, because we just got done with Al from opTrade AI, learn about some tools that you can take advantage of right now to try and put yourself in the best position possible, try and make money while everything else is bleeding right now. Now we're going to turn things over to an amazing company. I don't know how on earth we're going to even try and cover all that you guys are doing in an hour on this space. Same thing, but Jin is outstanding, and I see she has some backup as well. So we're very lucky to have a couple people on the team here for us today from StarDawgs. So I'm going to throw it over to Jin herself. Lovely to have you on here, Jin. Thank you so much. I don't know if you want to do any background on yourself, and then feel free to take it wherever you'd like to with some product demos. Hey, what's going on? What's up, guys?
Hey, Joe, what a pleasure to have us here. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to it. And congratulations on your continued success.
Appreciate you guys. It's only because companies like you guys that make it possible. Only reason people watch. So definitely not for any alpha I'm giving. That's for sure. So what you guys got for us?
Go ahead, Jim.
Well, first, hello, Dylan. Nice to see you.
My bad, Dylan.
I mean,
yeah, go ahead. You want to jump in real quick?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm here to support and fill in wherever needed. We may actually have Lee pop on also to show the newest update coming for Income Island.
Let's go. Awesome. I have been the biggest skeptic of these decentralized worlds, metaverses, whatever we want to call them, for a long time. And then I was lucky enough to jump on a call with you guys months ago now at this point, and it totally changed my perspective. Everything about what you guys are building is incredible. It's GTA 6, what they wish they could do even before GTA 6 is coming out and being integrated with crypto. So I'll let you guys take the reins, though. I'll shut up. I'll try and fly on the wall as much as possible, but go ahead. Go ahead, Jen.
You know what? We can circle back to this, Joe, but as you were talking, I just had an idea. We'll see if we can open Income Island up. But when you first walk into Income Island, there is the Ferris wheel. Do you remember seeing that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I mean, you could actually be hosting this live from in the metaverse in those Ferris wheel pods now, because our mechanics are fully up and running. So you can do full on video screening. Those are like office pods, right? $500 for 2 years, right? They are branded, all the way around, inside and out. And I don't know, did you see both day and night version when you were in there?
I don't know if I got to see both. I've definitely seen renderings of night, but I think it was daytime when we actually did the product demo. But I'm going to have to check out the night. Why? What's going on? What's the difference?
Because when the Ferris wheel goes around, you actually get, as your name comes around, you actually get an imprint in the ground from the lighting, right? So it's like an added benefit when you're walking through. It's amazing. And what I love is it's like the first thing that you see when you walk into Income Island, right? So you've got all of our partners, those that are in the Ferris wheel, right there when you first walk in. It's just the most spectacular sight. I'm excited. I'm working on something. I'm excited to get in there myself and actually do one. So yeah, check that out.
I'm definitely gonna have to check it out. I'm super excited to hear the different dynamics that occur in its night versus daytime and how that it changes the environment around you, different things like that. But before we get into the nitty gritty and really start showing things off here, why don't you give anybody, maybe this is their first time hearing about you guys for whatever reason, they just found us on YouTube. What is Income Island and what are you guys doing? What's your roles?
So
You know what?
I'll jump in with the
Go.
Income Island part of it and talk about that. So Income Island is part of our ecosystem under StarDawgs. Darcy and her business partner, Lee. Lee is the original founder of Income Island. It was a CTO, and the original team never actually built out the metaverse. They had plans, they were going to do all this stuff. They never did. They ended up leaving. He took it over. He took control, took it over, and immediately started building out the metaverse. And not long after brought Darcy on board. And obviously with Darcy came her entire team, myself, all the amazing people that we have involved, and the amazing people that we've brought on, like Jen. So what it is it's a digital world where anybody, it doesn't matter whether you are Web 2, Web 3, we have focused majority of our time of building this out over the last 4.5, 5 years that we've been building Income Island. We focused on the graphics first and foremost. We wanted to have the absolute best graphics that we could with where technology is currently. And so as we've been building this out, we've continually upgraded the graphics, making them better and better. Technology gets better, we upgrade. As more functionality becomes available, we're able to offer this up to any of our partners, our clients that are building with inside the metaverse. And again, it doesn't matter if you're on the blockchain, if you're not on the blockchain. We've been having conversations like crazy with different businesses across different fields, from assisted living facilities to construction to retail shops, schools, colleges, universities. We're going to be building out a movie theater in there. That's all tied in with what we're doing with StarDawgs and the movies and all of that. We've got a performance venue, and then we've got the amazing partners that we've already been working with for a long time within Web3. We've got the NFA building inside. We've got meta rides. 24 different vehicles now that you can hop in and choose which one you want to drive around. Interlink, on DAO. We've got a fully functional crypto exchange building. You can actually go in there using our partner. We partnered up with QuickSwap, so you can actually buy, sell, trade with QuickSwap within our metaverse right there in the exchange building. It looks like the New York Stock Exchange. When you go inside, you walk up to their booth, hit the screen, and you can do whatever on that. The cool thing is any screen within the metaverse, you can actually click that, use it like you would your computer screen, and you can pull up any website. So you can go to YouTube, you can stream videos from YouTube on there, you can pull up Amazon, you can go to Netflix, you could, buy clothes, buy food. We have people who have ordered food from inside the metaverse and had it delivered to their home for dinner that night. So all of this is available. In fact, Lee just popped in. I see him in the room. So he'll be able to show everybody what I'm talking about right now. And we really look at everything as whatever you can imagine, it can be done. It just comes down to where your imagination can go. The more limited it is, the more limited what you're going to create is going to be. You think outside the box. What can be done is amazing, and we've been showing that as we've gone along, as we've grown. We're not rushing to be all about the hype. you know, we're just building nonstop, finding new partners to work with and build with, who have that long-term vision. They're not in it for the quick buck. They're looking at how can we build out longevity within this space? How can we use this to advance our businesses, to step into that next iteration of where the internet is going? And you know, as I mentioned, Lee is the original founder, Darcy's co-founder of this, but he started everything. And yeah, I'm excited to show everybody, you know, this part of our ecosystem. And then after we go through this, we can talk about StarDawgs and what we're doing on the movie side and all of that. So Lee, how are you, buddy?
We got you muted.
Click the mic.
Classic. New platform, gotta figure out a new way to use it. It's like every single one of these.
Bottom left
If you
corner of the Discord screen.
Oh, it's not happening. It depends on, I'm assuming he's on PC. So yeah, if you drop down and then in the bottom left, it should have the mic button, or if not, in the right side of the screen, if you click on, you can sometimes like slide up on that little taskbar and go into some settings there.
Yeah, there's also right at the bottom of the screen, you'll see a menu pop up that allows you to share screen, mic, video, all of it.
All the good stuff. In the meantime, I mean, this is the first time we've ever had this many people from the team jump on, so this is incredible. How many people are on the entire team here? Who are we missing?
So, you know, in regards to the main team for Income Island, that is myself, Lee, Darcy. We are the main team. I'm head of marketing and development. Large following. She's constantly promoting this in many different ways. You know, she's the founder of Real Vision Entertainment, StarDawgs, and she's brought amazing people onto the team like Pyro, who is in a lot of the spaces out there. She's been in Web3 for a long time. You know, we've brought Jin on this last year, who is absolutely phenomenal. Again, been in the space forever. And we're lucky that we were able to get her when we did, because a lot of other people were very upset with us that we got her before they did. So win for us. But, you know, we just brought Justin on the team, onto our marketing team for StarDawgs. He's, you know, going through training. He's been in the space for a while, you know, just a great person, very creative. And then we've got, you know, people who work under Real Vision Entertainment. All in all, between developers for Income Island, what we do under the marketing team for StarDawgs, Income Island, Real Vision, we have roughly about 50 people that work on the team.
Aha.
There it is. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
That's a read a lot
And, and now Joe's muted.
Wow. Yep.
It's
Go
one
figure.
At a time. One at a time.
What's up, Lee?
How you doing? You're right.
So Lee, if you go down to the bottom, you'll see a TV screen that allows you to share the screen when you're ready and are able to pull up the newest build. We'd love to show everybody Income Island, you know, and what we've been creating. And this is obviously Joe hasn't seen the newest one, so he's going to see actually a few new buildings since he's last seen.
I'm stoked. Let's go. It's pulled up. Let's go.
Hey, can you see it? Oh.
Yeah, it's just got to be made big at some point.
Oh, is it just a small box at the moment? Or
Now it's a small box.
small box, right? Hold on.
It looks like it's oh yeah. All right, never mind. You got it.
That good?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Right.
This is sweet. This is insane. You guys are one of the projects I was really excited to have on this show to just to be able to show off everything you guys have done. This is awesome.
And there's
And
multiple ways to be able to maneuver around within this. So you're able to connect a game controller, either an Xbox or PlayStation controller, to your PC or your Mac. And that makes it easier. You've got touchscreen options. You can use your keyboard, your mouse. So there's multiple ways where you're able to maneuver around inside the digital world.
I'm an
I want to
Xbox
say
guy,
before
so
you
Well, that's why I'm using an Xbox controller at the moment.
there we go. What was that, Jen?
I just wanted to say that that first shot that Lee put up there, I just want to say like that is actually my favorite new thing that you put up on the website, because it's complete foreshadowing into further builds, right? Into Belosi. So and that's where I plan to build. You know, I love it. So there is so much going on, so many hidden gems.
All right, so we're nighttime right now. We're dusk.
Yep.
Yeah, in the UK it's 20 past 9 in the evening, but it gets to show you. We've got the nighttime sky at the moment and everything. What I'll do is I will flip it to daytime as well. I'll do that now actually because you get a better feel for it.
And again, the biggest thing that we've focused on is the graphics. You know, we've seen a lot of these other digital worlds that have been created over the years, and they've focused a lot on functionality, but more in-game functionality, more so than, you know, real world functionality where you're able to incorporate your daily life into it. And from a graphic standpoint, you know, we felt like there was a lot lacking on the graphics side. So we really put a lot of our focus on that. So, you know, over here to the left, when you go in, you've got Dravos, which is the performance venue. But even looking at like the grass and the sand, you know, the level of detail on that, that's the type of stuff that you see when you go into these, you know, high caliber, you know, games that we've all played for years.
We see your car, Dylan. Let's go see your car.
Yeah, this is Lee's favorite thing to show people. This proves how bad Lee's driving is. He crashed my car into the ocean, and now it's rusting.
Nice. Whoops. Little wrong turn. The textures are unbelievable for any type of metaverse. It is incredibly realistic. Even if the live stream quality isn't doing it enough justice, I mean, I remember when we were watching our stream before, it was just insane. And this is so vibrant. All the textures, you can really tell there's a lot of thought put into them.
You've got the outdoor venue here. There's an indoor venue as well. This is set up so that, you know, any artists that are looking to perform, you know, we can stream their performances on the screens, you know, right there on the stage or off to the left or right. We can set up where they can sell their merch from inside here, their music. It's all there, you know, no different than if they were, you know, there. If you're there at a live venue where you could buy their merch, well, you know, you could do it within here. It gets shipped to them, you know, right to their home. And if they have digital merch, great. Let's incorporate that as well. And they can use it for avatars within the metaverse also. So, you know, right here across, one of our early partners, NFA, they have the crypto homies, any signage. So Lee's actually looking at this sign right here. You notice he clicked the sign. Immediately it pulled up Amazon for this energy drink, and you can buy this no different than you would from your phone, your computer, whatever, and it'll ship that energy drink right there to your home, any product.
Yeah, this is sick. This is something to me that is incredible. The crossover from Web 2 to Web 3, like directly on here, being able to show off your products. You can also, if I'm not mistaken, buy meme coins or different tokens as well. Is that right?
Correct. So we have the crypto exchange building, which is in here. And again, you know, you go in there using QuickSwap. You're able to buy, sell, trade, you know, right there with QuickSwap. And we can connect any token in here. That's the thing. Just because it's not like you have to be, you know, set up with QuickSwap. to be incorporated into our metaverse. Any token, any payment platform, whether it's crypto or fiat, we can integrate it directly into this. So if you offer payment for whatever services, products, and it's crypto, great. If it's fiat, great. It does not matter. Lee's showing right here exactly how you go when you go into the building. There's QuickSwap on the screen, and you would connect your wallet, no different than you would. And we're not taking any of that information. We're just using an API that already exists for QuickSwap and have just incorporated it in. So it's keeping everybody's data safe. We're not that go-between. We just used their already existing API and integrated it directly into the metaverse for the screen to be used.
Amazing. And I appreciate the extra layer of security and not collecting information, etc. I think that that's massive. For companies or projects, whatever you want to call them, that get involved with you guys or want to have a piece of land, like how does that whole process work?
Sure. So, anybody who's interested in building with inside Income Island, reach out to myself or Jen or anybody on our team. We'll set up a walkthrough. We show you around. We show you the possibilities. Get your ideas of what you're wanting to do. We figure out a place where you may be interested to build, and then from there, we will figure out what you want to build, how big, what's the scale, what do you want to do within it. We'll sit down with our devs, figure out how long it'll take. And from there, we're able to give you a quote. And compared to a lot of the other metaverses out there, we're a fraction of the price to build in compared to other metaverses. Jen and I actually had a meeting with an individual who represents a lot of different celebrities as well. And those celebrities back during the last bull cycle, for whether it's crypto, metaverse, all of it, a lot of them had bought land in Decentraland, Sandbox, paid hundreds of thousands of dollars for the land. And then, after they had done that, they found out, oh, it's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars more just to build what they want to build. And we're like, we're able to do it for a fraction of that. We have our cost for land. It's $10 a square foot. Depending on the partnership, sometimes we work out deals with the brands, depending on, so it's a win for everybody. And then to build, we're at about $65 an hour to build inside the metaverse, which is, and that's currently, eventually those prices will go up. But at this current time, we're $65 an hour. You look at other competitors out there, they're charging $200, $300, $400, $500 an hour to build. And then they want an initial fee up front on top of that just to get started, which could be thousands, tens of thousands of dollars. We met with one company and they said to build out a replica of their museum, they were quoted $150,000 to build it and 8 months to build it out. And we're like, well, we could get that done for a tenth of the price in a tenth of the time. We get it done in 8 weeks and you're looking at maybe 15 grand for the same building, same thing, all of it, but you're going to get a higher quality because of the realism that we build in.
Totally. That's incredible that you guys are able to do that. And it says a lot about your guys' team and how capable you are. And sort of on that note of collaborations and everything we're doing, I saw Lee was just showing off some are these different companies that have already partnered with you guys? So now they have vehicles.
So we've got MetaRides. Yeah, we've got MetaRides. MetaRides has got a lot of different partners that they have partnered up with, and all these different vehicles are branded. This is the newest building. This actually has not been released to the public yet. We just finished building this out. It's called World of Tings. They're on opTrade. And again, it doesn't matter what chain you're on to build with us. We don't care because we can integrate from APIs, for anything. Over here, this is Axion DAO. This is their giant compound. As well. There's a restaurant right here at the top, which Lee's going over to. And I mean, you'll be able to see the level of detail inside this restaurant here. There's kind of a cafe area, and then there's like a really nice high-end restaurant area within this as well. And you can tell the difference between the floor and the tables, the lighting, all of it. And then with Axion DAO, a big thing that they have is they have a rocket. Anytime they help launch like new businesses and brands, they've released a video of this, rocket taking off. And we were like, well, why don't we incorporate that into the metaverse? So we did. So now you can go in there and you can shoot off the rocket as many times as you want, just have fun with it. And they've got plans that they're going to be doing to incorporate that with all their business. They're currently in the process of migrating over to Base from their original chain. There's the rocket through the window. You'll see that there. And we'll actually head over and you get a better idea of what this looks like. And then we'll launch it so everybody can see. And then once it launches, building comes from behind, closes the doors, new rocket appears, building goes back, and you can launch again. And again, the level of detail is just insane with it.
This is awesome. We're going to the moon, baby. Wow. Yeah, the explosion, the gases look crazy good. Everything about this.
Then here comes the building. Doors close, open back up, new rocket, and you're able to launch again. So, eventually, we have ideas about incorporating, building in outer space within the metaverse. So people will be able to use the rocket to actually, take it up to either, another planet or a space station or anything like that. So that would be their way to get to that part within the metaverse.
That is sick. Okay, so on that note, what's going on with like the limitation of land here, the availability? Like, can me, average Joe Schmo, buy land, start building? Like, how does that part work?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we are, we'll partner up with anybody. Our big thing is we want to work with people who have that longevity in mind. They're looking for the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, because we see this as the future. We want to make sure our name is important, just like anybody who's building a business. Your name is your most valuable asset. And we try to really do business from a place of integrity, and we want to do business with the same type of people. So Axion Down, they've been in the business for years. They're a CTO, and they're putting a lot of money into what they're doing. World of Tings, they've been building out for 4 years. Meteorites, another 4-year business. Interlink, they've been going now for almost 2 years. Frank has put a lot of his own money. Everybody knows QuickSwap. So again, these are all businesses, and no, you don't have to be in business that long, but we want to make sure that you have that same mentality. Are we able to, police that 100%? No, but we want to do our best to really work with top-notch individuals who understand business. And by the way, as you see, any of the vehicles that you see out, they're drivable. So please disregard, except for Lee. Lee's a bad driver.
I think I crashed that one already.
Yes, you did.
Right. Let's try another one.
Do they
might want to back up first?
This is how we drive in England.
Not much better in Baltimore either, where I'm from.
But I mean, even you're able to see the light, how it hits the building. We've got apartments in here. We've got penthouse. Lee, will you go up, hop out of the vehicle and go up to the penthouse, and let's show them the pool up there, the level of detail on the water. Water in these digital worlds is extremely difficult to get right. A lot of times it just looks like a digital blue sludge. But with this, we've been able to get that depth of field. So like you can see the tile in the water. You're able to see the reflections, how the light is hitting. I mean, that's hard to get it to that level. I mean, there are really good designers out there that do an amazing job with it, but usually it's not in a functioning environment where you're walking around. It's usually in like the clips, the videos that they show, and then they go back to the game that you see that level of detail. And then, yeah, we've got a house over here. We've got the mansion, the Interlink building. There's so much. We've got another company that's getting ready to start building as well. They've been around for years. It's called Billy Goat Tales. They hold spaces every Tuesday. And again, they have that same mentality. It's about, helping others, and, they teach people on trading and life and being just, the best that you can be. And they've all either started, ran, sold businesses. They've all have that experience. So again, it's just working with great people.
So, for the Interlink building, for example, and the penthouse that they have, are they able, like, do they actually own that asset? Or is that something that they're able to then like sell? Could they sell that penthouse to someone else down the line, or what's that process look like?
Yeah, so actually, in regards to the Interlink building, how Frank has this set up, yes, he owns the Interlink building. So the penthouse he uses for events, he can rent that out, to different communities, projects, and they could throw a big party up in the penthouse. The first floor that we're on right now, more like a lobby area. We're walking over to this portal, and you walk through the portal, it takes you directly up to the penthouse. There's two ways to get to the penthouse. Either you can fly there, or you take that portal and it puts you right there. When you look at it where it is right here, it looks pretty plain, just like a club that shut down. But walk over, you see this wall, it says start party, press the button, and then all of a sudden everything just lights up. You've got the disco ball, the lights, the floors lit up. I mean, now you look like you're in a club. And then you've got this screen right here. Again, it's functional like your computer, like any website that you go to, and you're able to pull up, again, get YouTube or any other sites. Let's say you want to pull up a chart to see, what's you're getting ready to launch a token, or you're launching your NFT. You pull that up, and it's functional. As you see, this looks just like you would on YouTube. It's streaming it exactly the same.
This is wild. For all of the people who are in the room at the same time, who has control over that TV? Is it anyone? Is it one person?
So it's at this current time, it's set up for everyone. But we're building out a back-end tool that's going to allow the first person that goes in to be able to have control over it. If somebody owns the building itself, then the person who owns the building will have the initial control, and they can choose to give that control to other people, at any given time. So if they're renting it out, whoever's renting it, they have the control over that.
So interesting. And how big, I guess, is Income Island? I heard you talking about going to the moon. Like, what establishes when you guys grow and how that comes about?
Well, I mean, the island itself is massive, but it goes beyond that. Again, it comes down to your imagination. It's a digital world, so we can scale the island out. We're actually, this next update that we're going to be doing, we're going to be building out the beach area, because the company that's coming in, what they're building is pretty massive. So we're actually putting more beach area and building out the island more for where their buildings are going to go. So, whether you're building underground, above ground, underwater, we have tunnels that go through the ocean and go to underwater glassed like cities. And we'll be building in those underwater domes. Again, we can build in space. The opportunities are limitless. It really doesn't matter. It's just a matter of where your imagination can go and where technology allows us to go with it at the current time. With all of this, this is an app-based environment. So you download it onto your Mac or your PC. So you got to have a device that can handle it at the time being. But as we continue to expand, we're looking at browser based as an option as well. We're also looking at VR, mobile, basically set up to where you can access this from all different platforms at some point. We
VR would
started
be crazy. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, the level of graphics, we just want to make sure that as we do it, that the platforms can handle it, because the graphics are very heavy. And that's why we went PC first.
Totally. Yeah, to be able to load the textures that, like you're explaining, and all the different details, it just takes more power. Like, look at these fish swimming around. Even as you look up, the texture of the water glistening around you. It's just incredible.
These fish are actually AI, so they will never go in the same direction twice. Most of them are normally in a loop. You can sit and watch them for hours, and they will never do the same thing twice.
Now that is interesting. That is super interesting.
Actual AI fish. I mean, I wouldn't say they were intelligent. They're about as intelligent as a fish, but they will do what real fish do.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that is a very interesting dynamic, almost an element of randomness added to them. That's a super exciting dynamic. I guess for this world and what you guys are building at Income Island, how would you best describe this to a normie or an everyday person? Like, what's, maybe this is a better question. What's more comparable? What is this comparable to? Like Decentraland, Sims, Roblox? Like, what would you guys say this is most similar to, or what you guys are going
I
for?
wouldn't say it was comparable to anything, to be honest, because we haven't copied anything else. Everything's completely original. So
yeah, I think if we were from a graphics standpoint, we would say from a graphics level, it's along the lines of that GTA 5, GTA 6 from a graphics standpoint. From a functionality, again, you don't see these other digital worlds bringing real world utility into it. So that's where we really feel like we're taking it to that next level. When we talk to people who aren't into metaverses or Web3 at all, usually what we tell them is this is really Internet 3.0. Our current iteration of the internet is, video, like we're doing right now. It's text, it's photos, it's audio. That's the Internet 2.0 that we're all used to and have been for years. The metaverse is that Internet 3.0. That's where it's becoming more interactive. You can go in and hang out with your friends. As technology evolves, we'll be incorporating haptic suits, haptic gloves, where you can give somebody a hug and you feel it. You shake their hand, you feel that handshake. Really to where you're immersing yourself into that environment on a whole new level. That's Internet 3.0. And that it's not just, if you're buying something or using, whatever payment, that it's only usable within that environment. It's usable everywhere. You buy a product and it gets delivered to you. Yes, there might be a digital version as well. You run a business in here. That business is generating real revenue for you. This, imagine your website and it's 2D. Some websites nowadays you can kind of enter into a room type environment that they've built. But having it in an environment where it's like you're walking down the street just like you would in real life, and it's like, oh, there's Wendy's. I'm hungry. Let me walk in. Yeah, you might not be eating it that second, but with the delivery services that we have available, you place that order, you're probably going to have Grubhub, Uber Eats, any of these things have the food to you within 15, 20, 30 minutes. And yeah, you're eating. And you just bought it while you're in the metaverse. Right now we're inside the university. We see it as, people will be able to go to school inside these environments, interact with teachers, the other students and classmates, be able to do your research, everything that you're doing with virtual reality and putting VR headsets on. You could be, let's say you're studying to be a doctor, and you'd be able to do, practice surgeries directly inside the metaverse. They already have that technology available in augmented reality. Now you can bring that also into the VR type environment as well and practice there before you're practicing on a real life subject. Again, it's all done inside the metaverse. It's the possibilities are endless. When I first met Jin, she was very much involved with Volt, and they have a game that is associated with their brand. And she was like, would we be able to incorporate this game into the metaverse? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Maybe we create another island, because the game was a shooting game. You know, we try to make Income Island for all ages. So we're like, well, maybe we set up another island that you could take a ferry to, or you walk across a bridge. And once you cross that bridge, that in part of the environment, you can have guns and other weapons to play their game that they had available at the time. You know, so again, it's wherever the imagination can go.
Absolutely insane things that you guys are working on here. Like I said, we only have an hour worth of time, so I want to try and cover some of StarDawgs as well. But there's just so much that you guys have that are getting built here. So I guess one more thing I want to throw at you, and then if you could also let us know where's the best place people could get more information. And then the question that I had is, will there be a marketplace in the future, like in general, like maybe for designers or for selling real estate or different services in the metaverse, anything like that?
Absolutely. So within the metaverse, you know, we were already talking with a couple of different marketplaces where you could buy NFTs. You know, that's something that's going to be built. UI Marketplace, which is a marketplace that's not just for digital assets, but they also offer physical collectibles as well. We've been partnered up with them for quite some time, so people will actually be able to buy land for Income Island through there. They're actually building out their owners, and we're part owners in that whole thing. It's called Nifty's World. So they're building out a physical facility in Las Vegas. We're part owners in that. And at that venue, you'll be able to buy land within the metaverse. You'll be able to buy digital assets. You'll be able to experience like different events there. It's a hotel as well. It'll be right off the strip. It's just north of the Stratosphere, kind of right in between the Arts District and the Vegas Strip. And so that's in the process. They already have the land acquired, and they're getting everything lined up to start building in the future. It's about an $80 million project to build that facility out. And again, you know, right there you see for the Xenu NFTs, it took you right to OpenSea. You know, so you can even set it up to where secondary markets. In regards to anybody who wants to get involved, you can go to our website, incomeisland.org, and see, you'll be able to, you know, see video streaming in the background on the site. We do have a token. We don't push it a lot, but you know, it is a rewards-based token that is available. It's got a burn feature, an actual burn feature, so it actually burns directly from the blockchain. And you get rewarded in whatever chain that you buy the token on. So if you buy it on BNB, every time people buy and sell, you get rewarded in BNB, not in the income coin. So kind of a nice thing with that as well. Again, our main focus is on building out the metaverse. That's our main part of the business. The token is secondary, and we know that as everything builds out more, the token will just follow suit, especially as the markets, you know, continue to grow and move in the right direction. Although, you know, we've had some difficult markets with crypto over the last, you know, few weeks, last few months, but you know, we just expect it to follow suit as the business continues to build.
Absolutely. I'm a firm indicator that tokens are lagging indicators for your community and what you've built. You know, it's only after the fact, and you know, that they'll start to take off if you've been building, you know, incredibly hard for years and years. And same thing with tanking. They're usually lagging indicators. There's probably some issues that came up way before the token started dumping. So I love that you guys are doing that. I actually forgot about the token. So is there any tokenomics you're able to drop, or is that something we'll save for a little later down the line?
No, like I said, so it's a very small supply. So when we originally launched, there were 1 million tokens on BNB, 1 million on ETH, 3 million on Polygon. Those are the 3 chains that we're on. And again, every time that somebody buys or sells, it's burned from the blockchain. So currently on BNB, I think we have 984,000 tokens left on the chain at all. Whether you buy it or sell it or whatever, that's all that's left, because we've burned over 15,000 of them from existence. It's not a burn wallet. It's actually burned directly from the blockchain. So you've got 1% that gets burned from the blockchain on every buy or sell. You have 1% that goes to our marketing wallet, and 2% that goes to liquidity.
Awesome. Thank you for that overview.
1% to the holders. Sorry.
You're good.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you for answering a little bit about the tokenomics. I know that's always a question on people's mind here. And then I guess that sort of translates us well into the next part of what we want to discuss, is how is all this getting tied together? So we have Income Island, we have StarDawgs, we have a token, we have a bunch of team. How are we tying this together?
So with StarDawgs, StarDawgs was founded by Darcy Donovan. And as I mentioned, Lee brought her onto the team for Income Island. And we're going to be putting movie theaters into the metaverse that are StarDawg movie theaters. And with that, what StarDawgs is an NFT brand. It's a set of 10,277 full body 3D NFT dogs. Darcy is a huge dog proponent. She's been in the entertainment business her entire life, and has been in Web3 since 2017. She got involved when Cardano first launched. And so she's watched a lot of businesses come and go and people making promises and not delivering on them. And so for her, she built this one to give people opportunities in the entertainment business, opportunities to maybe get a role in a movie, be able to network, come to red carpet events, walk the red carpet, submit script ideas, be able to shadow a director or producer. Depending on which one of our NFTs you could get one of these different types of opportunities. And we have movies planned out for the next 30 years. We have over 35 films in development currently. Obviously we're not able to make them all at the same time. It's one after another. Some might be made simultaneously. They might be further along in the developmental, pipeline. But over the last 3.5 years, we've released 12 different movies. 11 of them we've released theatrically. Those movies, we've put some of our private sale holders of the StarDawg NFTs into those movies. They actually got to see themselves on the big screen. They got to see themselves on the main trailer. And they got paid as actors. That's the thing. They got the opportunity. We said, hey, look, we're filming in South Carolina for this movie. The movie was called God's Not Dead and God We Trust. We were filming in South Carolina, and we called up our private sale holder and said, hey, if you're in the area, or if you can get to the area, here's your opportunity to be in one of our films. Nobody held any of the NFTs yet. So it was just, they were private sale holders. They got in early. So we wanted to really take care of them because they were there from day one with that. So we said, here's your opportunity. So a few of them got to take advantage of it. Crypto Billy from Billy Goat Tales, he was one of them, and he was just blown away with the experience. And we had over 450, people on set that day, probably closer to 500 people. 450 were just extras, for the scene that we had to film. So, when we tell people, look, there's opportunities for everybody with this, films could have tens, hundreds, potentially thousands of people working on them at any given moment, from actors to directors and sound crew, everything. It takes an army to make a movie. It really does. But it's a very close-knit environment. It's hard to make it in the industry. People give up, a lot of times before they actually make it, because maybe they didn't meet the right person. They weren't at the right place at the right time. They didn't know how to do certain things. Well, we're able to offer those opportunities up. It's literally a golden ticket into Hollywood. This is a golden membership into the entertainment business. If you are a musician and you get the right StarDawg NFT, you'll get the opportunity to submit your music where it could potentially be featured in the film if it's got that right vibe that we need for that scene. You know, if you're wanting to be a director, you get the right one. You might be able to shadow a director for a day and learn from them. How are they working with the actors? How are they getting the best lighting, getting the right shot? You know, these are the types of things. A lot of people think it's just for acting. No, it's for all different aspects. You might be able to shadow a producer and learn the business side of it, you know, and go, okay, how are they managing all of these people? How are they bringing in the money? You know, what are they doing? You know, because you've got your line producers, you got your producers, your executive producers. There's a lot of different producers that work on every film. A line producer is in charge of, you know, making sure that you break down the script and you can sit there and go, okay, we're going to shoot this scene and this scene on the same day because we can point south and we got this area that we can use and we can flip 180 degrees and there's different buildings. Well, there's our next scene, and it saves you money in the filming process. You know, so our film that we have in pre-production right now is a $30 million budget. Our director that we have on board, he's done over $2 billion in ticket sales. He's done movies like The Mask with Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz. You know, he discovered Cameron Diaz. That was her first job, and how she got discovered. And in fact, the studios didn't want to use her. He put his own job on the line to keep her because the chemistry between her and Jim Carrey was so strong. It would make the movie. And so he was like, you either use her or I walk. And so they're like, well, we don't want to lose you. So they kept her, and the rest is history. Her career went on and exploded from there. And the movie is an iconic film. But, you know, he's done other movies like Scorpion King with The Rock. He did Eraser with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Collateral with Jamie Foxx and Tom Cruise. The list goes on and on. So very talented director. We've got a great cast that we're bringing on. We've locked in some of our cast already. We've got some other big names that we're working on bringing in to kind of round out our cast. Even from the production side of things, we'll be doing post over at Disney Studios. We're going to be, we've got our VFX team. They've worked on different Marvel movies. They did Jurassic World. They've worked on The Hobbit. They designed the Demigorgons for Stranger Things. Like, they designed those monsters for Stranger Things. So, I mean, we have a phenomenal team. And that really goes from the production level to the Web3 side of it. Our team that we have is phenomenal. I can't speak high enough about, you know, about Jen. You know, she's out there, she's grinding, she's personable, she's so intelligent, you know, just an amazing person and always learning and growing and just becoming a better version of herself, which I don't even know if it's possible. You know, Pyro, same thing. You know, again, you know, has been in Web3 forever. And our goal is to not only educate, but it is building community, giving people a safe place, giving people opportunities, and delivering, just continuing to deliver. We've held red carpet events. People, you know, our private sale holders got to come to the Hollywood Museum. They got to network and walk the red carpet. We had Getty Images there, Shutterstock. You can go online, look up Darcy Donovan's StarDawgs, and you'll see people from our community and other celebrities that were there. And you go into the Hollywood Museum, and it's billions of dollars worth of memorabilia, you know, from Ecto 1 from Ghostbusters. You know, the real car is in there, and you've got the proton packs and the outfits that the Ghostbusters wore. You've got the car from Dukes of Hazzard. You've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future, you know, for those people within the community that love the DMC token and what DeLorean's doing in Web3, you know, all of that. There's so much history in this building. And it's actually built, they took the Max Factor building, which was, Max Factor was like the makeup company that did all the makeup for the movies and stuff. They bought that, and now it's, you know, it's a piece of Hollywood royalty now. You know, it'll be there forever. It's really cool.
It's incredible the amount of things that you guys are working on. And I guess just to clear up in my mind, like more specifically, your guys' role, like StarDawgs. So are you guys like the financiers of the different films? Are you guys like picking everything, like head down the direction, the actual script, and then like finding the actors and everything? Or like what's really the
Handle
main?
all of it. So it comes, so we don't rely just on the sale of our NFTs to make our movies. So it's, a lot of your typical funding, our sale of our NFTs isn't going to fund a $30 million film. It's just not going to do it. We still have to go out and get outside financing to fund this. And yeah, we're meeting with the investors. We're bringing in, again, the VFX team that we have on board. We've brought them in. Our line producer that's worked on a list of movies, the directors, the talent, the crew. We do all of it from the ground up within, Real Vision Entertainment, which is our parent company. Real Vision Entertainment's been around for 20 years. We've worked on so many different movies and television shows over the years. If you go to our website, realvisionentertainment.com, you see a list of all the movies that we've been involved with, from handling, production to working on marketing and branding. We also deal in celebrity management and work with some very well-known names, Isaiah Washington, Scott Baio, obviously Darcy, she's the founder, but she's also a client, David A.R. White, Angelica Bridges, who was in Baywatch. The list goes on and on. Nana Boano, he was known for doing Coach Carter. He was also in Gran Torino. We're lucky. We've worked with a lot of amazing people, and we've been doing this for a long time. For us, it's really just with StarDawgs, it's just opening the doors to people who never got that opportunity, never knew how to get that opportunity. Darcy spent her whole life, scratching, clawing her way up from nothing. She didn't have rich parents. She didn't have people that she knew that were in the industry. She just knew it's what she wanted to do, and she busted her hump to make it in the industry. And now she's opening up opportunities to, while I'd say, 10,277 is a lot of NFTs, it's still a very select, amount that will have that opportunity to be involved with the films in the grand scheme of things.
How much are the NFTs and the different tiers?
Yeah, so our NFTs are 0.5.
And my bad to cut you off. And just as a heads up, we have about 10 minutes ish left here before we got keep things running. Awesome.
Cool. So our NFTs are 0.5 ETH. You can go to our website, StarDawgs.com, and you're able to get our NFTs there. They're random. It's not like you can pick which one you want to buy. Whatever one you end up getting, great. We also have a burn mechanic built into it. So once we sell out the collection, we'll flip on that burn mechanic where you can, depending on how many you get, you have the option to where if you get a bunch of securities, you're like, oh, I want a crew because I want to learn what it's like to work on a set. Well, you burn 5 security, you can get a crew. You burn 4 crew, you can get a producer. You burn 3 producers, you can get a director. 2 directors gets you an actor. If you happen to have one of each of those, but you don't have a superstar, and you're like, I want the superstar, that gets you the role in one of our films. You can burn one of each, and that can get you a superstar. Or if you're able to find one on the secondary market for any of them, great. If you get lucky and when you mint and you get the one that you want, awesome. There's so many different things. You go to our website, you can see a list of the different utilities that we have available, which ones offer which utilities. Like I said, it could be getting a role in a film, could be a speaking role in one of our films. And our movies are SAG-AFTRA films. So we've been doing this a long time. We've already delivered upon our promises with this, done the movies, put people in them, held the red carpet events. It's just, it's cool to see these things happen and people get the opportunities. That's what makes this worthwhile.
Incredible stuff that you guys are doing. It's actually insane. Either of these branches individually would be a lot to take on, and the fact that you guys are doing them both at such a high caliber is incredibly impressive. So just hats off to you, the entire team, everything you guys have built. We are getting pretty close to time here, about 5-6 minutes left before we got to wrap things up. So I do just want to throw it back around to you guys. Any other alpha, maybe if Jin has something that guys missed she wants to touch on, anything else you want to really drive home or leave us with, we'll be happy to hear it.
So Jin, do you want to tease a little bit of what's coming without saying what's coming?
Sure. You know, I fell in love with the StarDawgs team long before I joined the company. But and it was because of the integrity. It was because of the character, that I saw Dylan each and every day, deliver at Darcy, right? And you could see that they were just as equally aligned. Dylan talked about, the leadership. He talked about Darcy's vision, but to actually spend time, with Darcy and see, I mean, this project has been built out to truly, give back. And there's such integrity in it. Part of what makes this whole thing work is the overlying, Real Vision Entertainment, and that's truly. I mean, without that, another company couldn't just go out and put out a bunch of NFTs and say, "Hey, we're going to put you in the movies." You have to have that access. You have to have the ability to put all those pieces in play, and that's truly the difference here. Um, but inside Real Vision Entertainment is other things going on, other things that we don't even talk about at this point, right? The technology side of the company, right? The continued build. There's an agreement. There's a deal being worked out right now that's actually going to help everybody, further their audiences. It's going to be able to say, what, what we're doing, everything we're doing for Real Vision is about helping the entire community. So while we're building a company, right, the goal is, and I love this. It is, how is this going to not only help us, how is this going to help our community? And one of the great things about StarDawgs, Income Island, Revision is that the community, it just doesn't mean that you have to hold, the StarDawgs NFTs to become part of the community, right? It's this collaboration of great minds, people that want the same things, people that, that have vision, people that are working hard and can see past the market, So, it's really exciting. We're working on a deal right now. It's almost closed. And we'll be able to announce it. And you know what? It's truly, it's heartwarming to be part of a company that is not just thinking, how can I make money off of these people? It's how can we build and do what we love to do in a way that is going to benefit everybody. So really spectacular.
You were muted.
Joe.
Couldn't pull up the screen to unmute myself. Thank you, Jin. I love everything you guys are doing. The StarDawg team is very lucky to get you. I know personally myself a couple of different companies who were excited to try and reach out to you. I know when there was a time between Volt and moving on to some other stuff. So incredible, and it's even more incredible to hear people in Hollywood talking about having decent morals and actually being just people. We all know, I don't have to say anything that's going on right now, in the world.
Yep.
But it's obviously a very dark place for a lot of people. People to get access to what you guys are granting access to, people do ridiculous things and crazy things, and have been willing to for a long time. So the fact that you guys are, providing a morally just way of people, to potentially get involved and help make their dreams come true, or just get involved and have fun and be a part of something is incredible. So many people just want to be a part of something at the end of the day. So I love that you're a part of this, Jin. And thank you guys, everybody, also for jumping in. I'm not sure if anybody else from the team wants to tee off anything before we have to move on with some MA with Frankie J. But it's been incredible having you guys so far. Anything else?
No, I'll just say, stay tuned.
You're also muted. Oh, I muted you. My bad.
Oh, way to go.
Sorry, go ahead.
Man. Can we hear me now?
All right, sorry. Go ahead.
Right.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Man, people's kids these days, I swear.
Yeah.
No, no, just stay tuned. We've always got new things that we're working on. We do spaces every Saturday, 3 p.m. PST. We've been doing these spaces for over 3 years straight, never missed a Saturday. And we're just going to continue to, because for us, it's community, and it's not just ours. We're working with Meta Rides and all these other different communities, NFA, Axion, and we want to meet and work with and learn from other people as well. So we don't expect you to work with us. Come in. If you've got good morals, good integrity, come be a part of it. Share what you're doing. We're all learning. We're all growing. We will definitely, all trying to support each other and building these businesses. So we really appreciate the time today, Joe. You guys are awesome as always. We love it. Keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Appreciate you guys. We will have you guys back on a future show, I'm sure of it. Lee, anything else you want to leave us with?
No, thanks for having us on and checking out what we're doing. It's great to to showcase what we've got and what we're going to have in the future, because it's always building. This year's going to be a lot bigger. Last year we built quite a lot, and this year we got a lot in the pipeline. So keep checking us out.
Let's go. Appreciate you, Lee. Pip, pip, cheerio, brother. I hope everything's good. Top of the evening to you. It's always great having you guys on StarDawgs team. You guys are incredible. Income Island, it's incredible. Thank you guys for showing us a little behind the scenes. We even got some alpha, some never before seen buildings. So really do appreciate you guys. Definitely going to be happy to have you back on a future episode.
Awesome.
But for now, however, thank you guys. But for now, however, we got to keep things rolling along here on the live stream. We're going to keep on running. We got some macro analysis with Frankie J. And I actually wanted to throw it over to you, Frankie J. I'm not sure if you had anything that you wanted to share on your screen or not. And I was going to say, if you didn't want to turn on your camera, or if you didn't have anything you wanted to screen share to explain things to anybody, we could just jump over on the X space if you wanted to, and probably just run it from there in the future. Or if you did have anything you wanted to screen share that would, bring more benefit to people who are watching, definitely encourage that too. What you thinking, Frankie J?
Oh, word. Yeah, next time I can prepare something. Forgot about the screen. Can you do it on X? Is the spaces up?
I can throw it up right now. I was gonna start it after this live stream, but I can just do it now if that's better for you. Or same.
No, this works cool. Cool. I can run it up.
Let's do it. What you got for us? What's going on? What's going on in the world? What's happening?
Yeah, man. So pretty big week. We got some pretty important data coming out in terms of what the Fed is going to do. We've got the unemployment rate on tomorrow, God willing, is going to shut down between now and then. That is an important one because we've seen some deterioration in the labor market between the latest FOMC, where Powell said it was all good. We had the Challenger report come out, which was we had 108,000 layoffs in January, which was the largest amount in a January since 2009, the year following the GFC. So there's that. We also had JOLTS come in 500,000 below expectations, so 500,000 less job openings than predicted. So that's a problem. And so we need to see what unemployment rate is doing, because that seems to be something the Fed is focusing on a lot. Seems to be their way to continue to gaslight us into telling us that the economy's fine when it's pretty clear that it's not, or the labor market rather. And then we also have CPI on Friday, which is also very important because that will give us more indication whether or not the Fed is likely to cut rates in March. Now, we do have another set of data coming in March before the next Fed decision. So we'll have another month of data, but this will be some pretty big insight. This will be pretty big insights, and could very well affect price. Aside from that, we've had some revelations regarding the October 10th event. From what I'm hearing in the back channels and from what I've gathered from various posts and other things on social media, it seems as though a large hedge fund, multi-billion-dollar hedge fund, got levered up to the tits on the IBIT BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. And then as a result of Trump's tariff tweet, they went bust. And then that started the subsequent liquidation cascade, where about 50% of market makers got wiped out. They have been, that hedge fund has been selling nonstop since that day, from what I understand. My sources tell me that the selling should stop by Q1, and that by May, they have to publicly announce that they're filing for bankruptcy. So I think that will be of great benefit to us to know, you know, kind of where, when, and what color in terms of all of this that we're seeing. You know, if we can wrap our heads around it and say, okay, it wasn't this, it wasn't that, you know, here's what it was, here's what happened, and here's the likelihood of it happening again, which is very likely to be extremely low. I think that could be a positive, and I think it would be something to get out of the way in terms of opening us up for a stronger, you know, let's call it middle of Q3, Q4, which is kind of where I'm still looking. And then there's one more piece. There's an article that's been going around, the Kevin Warsh, Scott Bessent, Fed Treasury connection. Everyone's worried that the new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh, is going to be a hawk. I don't think that that's the case. I think what we're going to see is a lot more cooperation between the Fed and the Treasury when it comes to dealing with debt, helping the economy, et cetera, et cetera. I've been saying for a while that we're entering a world of fiscal dominance, where the Fed loses some measure of independence so that they can help the government run deficits. That doesn't seem to be changing at all. That seems to be continue the case. And Kevin Warsh and Scott Bessent, they both studied, or you know, they're both proteges of a guy named Stanley Druckenmiller. He's a multi-billionaire hedge fund manager. And so now you've got this hedge fund manager. Two of his proteges are now the two most powerful men in finance in the world. Obviously, he's a markets guy. Trump's a markets guy. You can see where this may or may not be going. And so I'm optimistic on continued or increased cooperation between the Fed and the Treasury. Because really, I think what's happening now is the Treasury, the admin, they're trying to sprint, and the Fed seems to be acting as a bit of a counterweight and kind of holding them back a little bit. So what I think will happen is Warsh will get in there, and they'll start figuring out ways to run more fiscal deficits, but without expanding the balance sheet, because that's always been Warsh's thing. Is he doesn't want to increase the balance sheet, doesn't want to do QE, this and that. They'll find other ways. They always have other ways. But one thing I think is for sure is I think those rates are absolutely coming down. And if we don't see any cuts between now and then, which it's possible that we won't. I thought that we would. Doesn't seem that we will. I mean, I took that position before, Trump launched his investigation into Powell. So I think that has something to do with it. But either way, if we do, even if we do, it's possible we see 50 basis point cuts in June. If Warsh can rally the committee, the Federal Open Market Committee, and get them to agree with, kind of his view of inflation, the labor market, and what needs to happen. There's regime change coming to the Fed, and that's something I've been saying for a long time as well. And this increased cooperation between the Fed and the Treasury that they're signaling is just the start of that. I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see some sort of revised inflation targeting scheme. Does it become a range? Do we adjust it higher to 2.5%? Because this 2% target is arbitrary, and it's never going to be achieved without a crippling recession. And that's just not something that's going to happen anytime soon. And then I don't think it's something that America could handle, to be honest. I think a recession strong enough to bring interest down to 2% would do a lot more damage than just having inflation be at 3%. So there's that. And so that makes me very bullish on the future. I think I don't think there's any reason to think that this Warsh fellow. Also, that news clip where Trump is like, I made a mistake. I think he's talking about when he picked Powell, because his former Treasury Secretary, Steve Mnuchin, was the one who basically told him to pick Powell. I don't know if he's referring to. I don't think he's referring to Warsh in that clip. I think we've all seen that clip. But anyways, those are my thoughts. I think we kind of just have to hold the line. Nothing in terms of big catalyst that I see coming in the near future. Monetary, fiscal policy, liquidity are still headwinds at the moment. But again, I think monetary and fiscal flip into tailwinds by, let's call it Q3, and then I think that will bring liquidity as a tailwind as well. So kind of just where we are right now. I don't see any real reason for any significant bounce unless unless unemployment goes up to like 4.7%. They start pricing in like another cut. Maybe we could see a little action, but nothing groundbreaking.
So you're looking at FOMC meeting, government shutdown, and what other, I guess, main point is like the things you're looking at to affect markets in the coming weeks?
Government shutdown, labor market and inflation data, and then any further communication from Warsh on how he plans to structure or restructure the Fed. I think those are probably
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We all know there's lots of questions there, but honestly, every single time we think we know what's going on, like when Gary Gensler was getting, put in the SEC and this and that, we all think, oh, there's going to be good for crypto, there's going to be bad or whatever. And then politicians just have to do what politicians do. I guess even though he's a Fed chair, technically not a politician, but we'll see how that goes. And then, things change a little bit. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Warsh actually ends up, if he's as hawkish as everybody thinks he's going to be, or if he's a little bit more dovish, because he understands what's going on in the world right now. So very interesting. Frankie J, I always appreciate you for jumping up here. We'll be happy, if next week we could get any visuals, would be sweet. If not, no stress at all. We'll be happy to fire it up on the X space as well and just start pushing that a little bit earlier. But anything else, any other macro news, anything else we should watch out for this week?
No, that's it, man. I just think unemployment, CPI, those are probably the big ones. And then, another week in the books.
Another one bites the dust. Yo, Frankie J, appreciate you for jumping up here, doing a little bit of macro MA with us today. Talking a little bit about what's going on. What was that?
Little MA. Call that.
A little MA action, yeah, if you will. I like that. We'll stick with that. We'll definitely get you back on some future weeks, maybe get some graphs and stuff like that going. But for now, I appreciate you giving us an overall, I guess, 10,000 foot peer view of some different events we're looking for that are going to impact the market this upcoming week. So definitely an interesting time. If you guys want to learn a little bit more from Frankie J, make sure you guys are following him. Jump in his Telegram. Frankie J, what's your TG? How do they get in there?
Yeah, I've got a free macro Telegram. I had the paid one. I think I'm gonna close that down and focus on the free one. I just I don't know, man. I don't feel like taking money from people, to be honest. And then I have to neglect the free one, which I don't feel good about either. So I think I'll just keep it free and maybe just bank some good karma. So yeah, anybody who's in who probably no one's listening right now, but anyone who's in the paid one, everyone's gonna get a full refund, and then we're going back to macro maxis. So that's kind of the plan.
Macro maxis. Appreciate you, Frankie J, for bearing with us. I know we've been switching up the format a bunch, but I think we like this setup here with the 2 interviews and then having you somewhere in between. And now that we have a layout that we like, and I think next week will probably be our final one before we start running ads on these and really pushing things. So thank you for bearing with us. I know it's been a little bit weird, but definitely plan on getting more eyes on you in the future here. So thanks again, Frankie. Anything else before we close this bad boy down?
No, that's it, brother. All good. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Auga. Appreciate you, Frankie J. Appreciate you, everybody who's listening to the live stream. Now we're going to jump on over to the X. I already fired it up on the New Money Media account. I'm going to jump in on my personal. We'll just say what's up. It looks like we already got Biggie in the building jumping in over there. If you guys like this format of having the 2 different founders coming in, or actually we had like 5 founders come in today, but 2 different companies coming in, and we did like an hour overview of each of them. We ended it with some macro analysis with Frankie J to hold it down. If you guys like that format, please just let us know your thoughts in the comments down below the stream or on YouTube, etc., etc. For now, Wally, what you thinking, brother?
Not much, man. Great show. I think we got some tech stuff figured out on the back end. We got thumbnails on the YouTube live stream now, and we're cooking with gas, man. So I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Appreciate everybody that will tune in, and yeah, we'll see you next Tuesday.
Auga. Appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Catch y'all soon.